Good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. Thanks for joining us this frosty, not completely frosty. You turned your microphone down.
I want my volume to be down.
You need to turn the knob.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your microphone. Those are your
Will's
headphones.
yelling in my ears.
I may be yelling at everybody on there. I don't know. Everybody may be like, turn it down, Will, but that's okay.
It's okay.
It's frosty outside.
No big deal.
I have a nice warm cup of coffee from Storytime Coffee right there.
How many tally marks you got on there now?
105. 105 cups.
I've not drank 5 cups of coffee in my life.
Well,
probably like 2.
It's probably why your growth is stunted.
It's not stunted. No, that's what coffee does. They say coffee stunts your
I don't
growth,
think so.
they?
Look at me.
Okay.
Hey, our studio is finally back online. I don't know if you guys caught it with the story and everything, but K-ROG wasn't down. K-ROG was fine, but our studio wasn't working, and it was a software issue with some of the software that we use. And so Keaton and I were here last Friday, and I'm like, it won't work, and I don't know why. And Tom Baker, our technical director, and John Pope, our sports director, and myself, we spent hours trying to figure this out, why our laptop and, we could stream from phones, which is great. That's the origin of K-ROG. It's how K-ROG started. We just streamed from our phones. But over time, we've gotten a little more high-tech. We've got some mixing boards and some video switchers and cameras and things like that, which are really cool.
Doodads and dinklebops.
Which means there's more to go wrong. And so there's some software that we use that does a couple of things. One, it lets us do cool things like have the overlays and the videos and stuff on the screen. And then we use a piece of software called Restream that actually pushes this feed to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And so if you're getting off of Facebook, if you have friends that would like to watch K-ROG, most of our studios, and now not all of our sports make it to Restream, but a lot of it does. But you can watch what we do on our YouTube channel too. You can just search K-ROG Wildcat TV. It should pop up for you. You'll recognize the logo. It's the same one we use here. But anyway, this was down. It's in going through troubleshooting tickets with them. They asked me to send them some logs. I went to get a log created, and everything worked. So we don't know why. Nice. And that's, as Keaton pointed out, that's both good and bad. It's good that it's working. It's bad because we don't know why it wasn't working, which means if it happens again, we can't fix it. But we do. It has prompted us to do a couple things because we do want to keep doing this for you all and our sponsors, in that we're going to get a web page put together, and we may even have a streaming app available for you at some point in the future. That's probably a year or two down the road. But it all depends on you, because the website's no big deal, but that app's kind of spendy. So we'd have to have a significant amount of money to be in position to do that. And
then we can wish you happy Hanukkah in even more ways.
Yep. What were we talking about? Oh, I know. You had a Facebook post. Well, you know what? Let's do first things first. Let's do our Bible.
We need to get to the Bible.
Let's do the Bible verse first, because that's right. We're in Ephesians today. Ephesians 4, chapter 4, verse 2.
Say Ephesians.
Ephesians.
Okay.
Ephesians.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just hadn't heard anyone say that.
Ephesus. Ephesians. It's not Ephesus.
That's not Ephesus.
It's Ephesus, so it's Ephesians.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go to a better church.
Oh, God.
It says, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. Okay, that's good stuff. So we want to have humility. We want to be gentle and patient. Those are good words for our culture today, and good words for a lot of Christians today too. We can get wound up too. And we do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't. Bearing with one another in love. Now, so, as this struck me today, so what does it mean to bear with one another? And so 2 points. One, I want to know what that means to bear with one another in love. I think it has a tolerance component to it. And if anyone out there has thoughts, feel free to give us a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say about Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2. But the other point I think I'd like to make, and I think this comes up a lot in Scripture interpretation, it says, bear with one another. And so what's our context here? This is Paul writing to the Christians at Ephesus. He's not telling Christians to bear with everyone out there in patience and love. He's telling Christians to bear with one another, with other Christians. And so this doesn't mean, I don't think, and I'm sure there are others that will disagree, but you don't have a show. And I do.
You are on it today.
I kind of am. I'm getting old, right?
He's getting old and crotchety.
I think, see, here's the thing.
He's like 59 today.
No, just 50. But I think
like
I'm
64 today.
You know, you get to that point, I think, in age where people, you can say whatever you want because people just go, oh, he's just an old man. He's just an old man. And I think I'm there. I think I'm getting there.
Old, sexist, racist
just an
man.
old man who's neither of those things by traditional definitions.
You, yeah. You get a pass though when you're old.
Yeah, I'm looking for my old man card, so I can. And it's just a man card. You get the gold card, which is the old man card. You get the pass on all that stuff. But so here's the thing: I think non-Christians use a lot of verses and throw them in the teeth of Christians to say you have to be tolerant, you can't judge, you have to forgive this. And if you put those verses in context, it doesn't say that. It says you have to be those things with other Christians in good standing, believers in the faith. And I think that reconciles a lot of these verses. I mean, so this is, you're not supposed to judge, but yet it tells you you're supposed to judge this. They're always judging these sins. Yeah, because you got to put the verses in context.
Context is key.
Context is key. Okay, we were going to talk a little bit about, you posted about your early morning escapades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my escapades in the early morning.
On Facebook. So you woke up
rewind back to like 4:30.
So we're going back 3 hours.
Yeah. Been up for 3 hours. I woke up and I'm packing my stuff to go to work, and I have some loose papers. I'm always thinking of things. My mind is always running, and I'm always having to write things down.
Thank you, Barry. 2 days. It's your turn, brother. We'll see you then.
Yeah. Happy 57.
Barry is, I'm 2 days older than Barry. We discovered this a week or so ago.
You're both going to be 64 now. But I'm always having to write things down. And
That's
so
a Beatles song, by the way.
Loose sheets of notes and brainstorming, and I'm trying to shove them in my bag, and they're crumpling. And I'm like, I should look on Amazon to see if somebody has invented something that will hold all of these sheets of paper together, and I can put it in my bag and them not get crumpled. And I was thinking of things, and I was like, ooh, maybe that accordion folder,
maybe you could invent
thing.
Something.
Yeah, maybe I could invent something that will hold these papers together. And then it struck me, I was talking about a folder.
A folder, yeah.
Just plain old paper folder that's been around forever and ever and ever.
You know, us Gen Xers in the 80s, we had the ultimate. It was called a Trapper Keeper.
Trapper Keeper?
Trapper Keeper. So a trapper was, well, there's my mommy. Hi, Mom.
Was it like a blanket?
Hi, Mom. Thanks for the birthday wishes, Mom. Thank you. My mom said. My mom's watching.
Pat, you better wish me happy birthday in May. May 28th.
Your mom's on here all the time.
May 28th.
Hey, Peter's birthday is May 29th.
Oh, really?
I think May 24th. Luke's birthday is May 29th.
Okay.
And
I think I knew that.
Yeah.
It was just in there.
See, my wife was a school teacher, so
knowledge.
Timing as to when we had those babies was pretty important. We wanted to have them in the spring, have all summer. And then with Jack, we actually thought she might retire from teaching and just be done. So she took the year off, so we weren't really worried about when that one happened. But no, there was the trap. So a trapper was traditional folders are open, and the papers can fall out very easily
in a folder.
A trapper
upside down. That's a bunch of crap.
A trapper was it folded together like this. Yeah, my mom just corrected me on the boys' birthdays. Yeah, I know, Mom. Like, I fixed it. Hey, and Joseph's happy birthday
to dad didn't know your birthday.
Thanks for the 50 club. Thanks, Joe. Oh, there's 3 of them. At least I get their names right most of the time.
Yeah.
You know,
my dad doesn't do that all the time.
Yeah, I usually call them by the right. Every once in a while, I'll get them mixed up. I'll say the wrong one. But the trapper, the way it was designed was there was like a folder on this side and a folder on this side, and they folded together. And because of the way the flaps went, the papers wouldn't fall out. So it was called a trapper. And then you had a vinyl device like a book that had a little Velcro flap on it. They went in, and that was your trapper keeper. And you could get them designed, and they could have, you could get like Donny Osmond on it.
I was born before the dinosaurs.
Yeah, stuff like that. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Your favorite caveman TV show could be on there. It was awesome. No, it was good stuff. Good stuff. Real news. All the news that's fit to print, you can tell because I printed it. Thanks, Lauren. I appreciate the birthday wishes from you as well. So we've been talking about this a little bit, and people have been asking about this. And so I did a little research this morning. Keaton watched me.
I also have something about climate change that we should discuss.
You want to talk? Well, let's talk about climate change.
Okay, so I would just like to say I was a supporter of the past President Donald Trump. And I am also a supporter of President Biden because I believe we should support our president. And I will say this about President Joe Biden. He solved global warming in just a couple weeks.
He really did. Yeah.
We had snow.
Kind of overfixed it.
Yeah, he was in the office and he's like, well, let's turn the snow machines on.
Getting things done.
Get some cool out there. It's done.
Get things done.
Global warming doesn't exist anymore.
Well, and the one thing is we've been having all these rolling blackouts and all of that stuff.
Thanks,
Lauren. Like your post. Yeah, it was funny.
I post just to delight you.
Yep, that's what we all do. But so we've got these rolling blackouts, and they're. I think it was.
I didn't know what that was until I.
It's when they intentionally black out grids in a. I don't know, a wave, kind of like where it rolls from grid to grid.
We live in the country, so
we don't have to worry about such things. We make our own power. But they were saying, the problem is we have a natural gas shortage, and I thought, I had a good idea too.
Didn't you?
I did. If we could just build a big pipeline from the Canadian oil fields down here to where we needed the oil and natural gas. I mean, that might solve the problem.
It could almost solve the problem.
It'd be like the keystone to solving the whole problem.
You know what?
And it's an extra large. We could call it the Keystone XL pipeline.
He snuffed that pipeline and then turned the snow machines on. That's what happened.
That's how you fix global warming, right there, folks. Greta Thunberg is pleased, I'm sure. So we talked a little bit a while back.
That's that little girl.
Yeah, that's that little Dutch girl or something. I don't know where she's from, but she ain't from around here.
She ain't from around here.
So they had the virtual hearings on the Robinhood GameStop stock circus.
I bought so many games at GameStop over the years. I should have some stock.
Yeah.
Like they should have given me some free stock.
That ain't the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But the people that own the stock were pretty happy with you.
I know.
So I actually was reading this article about it, and I got in, it hit me something that was in there, and I don't think there's anything interesting in the article necessarily, but it talked about payment for order flow. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Me either.
But it was called a controversial practice, and it's apparently key to the way Robinhood works, because one of the cool things about Robinhood is, first of all, you can buy fractional stocks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you can't spend $900 for Tesla, you can put $10 in and buy a tiny fraction of one piece of Tesla, which, still goes up and down just like regular Tesla stock. Mm-hmm. So you can do that on Robinhood, but they don't charge you. If you normally, all these brokerages paid fees. You used to pay hundreds of dollars in brokerage fees every time you wanted to trade because only rich people did it. And then it goes down, down, down. You get Schwab, you get Scott Trade. You always start to get cheaper, cheaper, cheaper because you are doing a lot of it yourself and all of that stuff. Well, then comes Robinhood, where you actually get free stock trades. You're like, this doesn't cost you anything. How does this work? This is how it works. So the way the stock market normally works is if you put in a buy, you'll notice there are buy prices and sell prices, and they're usually, I don't know, a few cents, 50 cents, a couple bucks apart, depending on how the market's running. And so there's a market maker, and so you buy at 60, he's buying at 58, and then he's selling you at 60, and so he's making the margin, and the stock market's doing that. And so all these brokerage houses, they put their orders in to the stock market. The stock market gets a little fee for the trade, and the market maker makes the margin. But the market maker's deal is they have to buy the stock. They have to trade it. And they can't refuse orders if it's within the thing. That's why they're called the market maker. So most brokerage houses, very few are large enough to fulfill their own orders. But what Robinhood does is they say, well, and the example that I read, I can't remember it exactly, but let's just say you wanted to buy the stock and it's $58.25 to buy, and the sell price is $58, and I'm ready to sell. So there's a 25-cent margin. So what they'll do is they'll let you buy it
at 58.
They'll match you with me. They'll let you buy it at $58.15, 10 cents cheaper than you could buy it on the market. They'll give me $58.10, 10 cents more than I would have made on the market, and they'll keep the nickel. Mm-hmm. And they have a large enough.
They get a bunch of nickels,
and they don't have to pay the fee to the stock exchange. So it's called internalization. They internalize the market, and they fulfill the orders internally. And that's good for everybody except the market. But you get a better price. I get a better price. They make a nickel, and it's. That's
where the name Robin Hood comes from.
Could be.
Better for us, but not good for them.
Robin Hood. People that robs from the rich and gives to the poor. That's not what was going on.
In Robin Hood?
That's not what was going on.
Well, who was he? I'd like to think.
Who was he robbing from?
I don't know.
The government. What was he taking back?
Money.
The
taxes.
Tax money.
Yeah.
And who was he giving it back to? The taxpayers.
Yeah, where they
Robin Hood took tax money back from the government and gave it to the taxpayers. So let's know what Robin Hood was really about and stop this nonsense about robbing the rich and giving to the poor. He was taking back ill-gotten tax money and returning it to the taxpayers.
Yeah, but I like the Disney version with the fox.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Super awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. I really like that
one.
That's
one of my favorites.
Robin Hood, Little John running through the forest. Doodle-lolly, doodle-lolly, golly, what a day.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Did you record that? You were probably what, like
that was Roger.
That
if I think right, that was Roger.
You were probably like 40 years old when that came out.
It was Roger
right?
Miller that recorded that. I could be wrong about that.
Is that your show name?
No. You have to. Roger Miller.
Name.
He did a lot of stuff like that. It's good stuff. But yeah, that's a good show. I like that show quite a bit. It's a good one. Well, what else we got going on today?
I think we should go play in the snow.
Well, I was playing in the snow yesterday.
Were you? What were you doing?
Well, I was helping Tom Baker move in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't hear. I hope he got moved. I think he was supposed to try to be out of his old house into his new house by 5, and I told him I had some time about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I got done having court in Fair Grove that I could come back and help him with my truck, and he didn't call.
His truck has the Sportsland pickup cover swing
cases and the cover. And, that's one of the reasons Tom wanted to use my truck is because that sweet Sportsland cover, we put his delicates, like his flat screen TV and his black powder rifle and all that. We put that in the bed.
The TV and the rifle, the important
stuff. The TV and the TVs and the rifles.
TV, PlayStation, and the rifle.
And we put that under the sports and pickup cover to keep it safe as we transported it. And it was snowing.
The rifle would keep the TV safe. It's no big deal.
Well, but not from snow.
Wait, guns don't shoot themselves.
No, guns don't shoot themselves.
Never mind.
That's right.
Oh, gosh.
That's right. Did you see Bitcoin is over 52,000?
Really?
Really?
I should have gotten into Bitcoin when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple buddies that were buying it for like a couple bucks.
Oh, yeah. It was cheap. You could like $10.
This techno coin that doesn't exist is stupid. But if I would have just bought some, I would have a lot of money right now.
That is correct. You could have bought 1,000 shares and you'd have $5 million.
That's kind of what I've been thinking. I was like, the next thing that I see that people are investing in that I'm like, that's stupid. That's going to go nowhere.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
Because we thought that electric cars weren't going to go anywhere.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know.
I thought Bitcoin was the most ridiculous thing ever, and it apparently is still a thing, and it's going pretty strong.
I thought it had some legs. I thought it was at least interesting enough that I built a miner back in the day and actually had a fair amount of I probably had what in today's terms would be like $20,000 worth of Bitcoin, but I had it on Cripsy, that guy, the one that shut down, took everybody's Bitcoin and went to China. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he stole my Bitcoin.
You have some connections in China, though. You could probably just have somebody.
I don't know that he's in China. Nobody knows where he went. He just
dagnabbit.
He just gone. But I have a miner running right now, and so I've got a couple $1,000s worth of Bitcoin, but it's not much. compared to what it could be.
You can buy things with Bitcoin, right?
You can. Mm-hmm. There's and that was actually
as an actual currency.
Yeah, that's actually a couple of things. Reasons it's gone really, really high recently is like PayPal added Bitcoin to their stable of currencies, and
does it just like convert to the dollar amount?
You can convert it, so you can just like,
because you're not going to buy something. It's like it's 37 Bitcoins.
No, there is places that say I'll take this. I'll take so much Bitcoin for that. So you can. But the price fluctuates so much; it's really difficult to do that. But there are places that will take just Bitcoin. In fact, I flirted with doing that with Missouri traffic tickets there for a while. You could just pay us in Bitcoin, just for the novelty of it, really. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you give somebody a Bitcoin today, or a tenth of a Bitcoin because you want to give them $5,000, but then they get it tomorrow and it's worth $10,000 or it's worth $1,000.
That's a little scary.
It's a little scary, and so yeah, most people are just trading in Bitcoin. You get an eToro account, something like that, and then you can buy and trade just like you're buying trade stocks. It's real easy. And
what I imagine Bitcoin as is just this big bank vault full of all of those little gold coins with the B and the two lines through it. I'm just really sad that it's not an actual coin.
Yeah.
Like an oversized gold coin. Doesn't have to be real gold.
That would almost defeat the purpose.
It would completely defeat the purpose.
So that's
what it's in my head.
The trick to Bitcoin is, in order to process a Bitcoin transaction, because of its extreme encryption and algorithm, it takes a colossal amount of computing horsepower to make that transaction happen. And that's what miners do, is they contribute horsepower to the discovery, to creating new encrypted Bitcoin. So and it's called blocks in the blockchain. And so when you have to create a block, and that I may be speaking a little bit incorrectly, but generally speaking, a massive amount of computing horsepower goes into encrypting a block of Bitcoin blockchain. And then that block has to be decrypted and re-encrypted and decrypted and re-encrypted every time there's a transaction. And so that requires this massive amounts of horsepower. So what miners do is two things. One, they contribute their computing horsepower to discovering or creating new blocks in the blockchain, which expands the Bitcoin supply, and then also to interpreting, making the transactions happen. Every block that is created is more complex than the one before, and there is an event called the halvening that occurs every so often, where it essentially halves. Okay, I'm done. I can't explain it anymore because I don't really have that firm a grasp on it. But
I just want to know.
I think it's akin to a stock split. What you're trading is
nothing of material.
So is dollars.
I understand
dollars
that, but like that's a physical something that we have put stock and value in,
right? That
we're exchanging. I believe this.
Well, a dollar. Yeah. The reason a dollar is worth something is because we all agree it's worth something.
Yeah.
The reason Bitcoin is worth something is because there are people that agree it's worth something. It's the same thing. What is it?
It's just
it's an idea.
Yeah.
It's an idea that is represented by electronic virtual entity instead of a piece of paper entity. It's really the same thing, because once we left the gold standard,
it's the same as just like in my bank account, right? I have a bunch of numbers that I think is
worth something.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Only if
I don't
we
know
all
where that money is. I've never seen it.
If we all decide it's not worth anything, it's not worth anything.
That'd be kind of sucky, wouldn't it?
It's a little scary. Yeah.
That's why we need to dig our holes in our backyards and put gold in it.
Well,
and food and water and air and time and firearms
and ammunition.
See,
the ammunition is the currency of the future. It's like, yeah, you can. So you can stock up on ammo. It's not going to lose its value anytime soon. I don't think
it'll go up.
It's been going up. 57 by 28. Have you seen 57 by 28 ammo? Okay, this is if you haven't seen it, you need to look at this. So Ruger 57 is a cool pistol that shoots it, and I want one, except that it's $2 a round. Yeah.
Why? What's the round this big?
No, it's actually a fairly small round, but it's a neck down cartridge with a relatively small round on the end, but it shoots it super fast. It's kind of equivalent to a 9mm, smaller bullet, more powder, so you get more energy on the projectile. But like the Ruger 57 has a 20-round magazine. 20-round magazine, yeah, nice. So it's huge. Most times you just, and it fits within the handle. I mean, you can get a 30-round magazine for your Glock, but it sticks way out the bottom of it.
That's okay.
It's hard to carry. You could actually carry this weapon concealed and have 21 rounds because you have 20 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. Yeah. So, that's pretty interesting.
Before I go real quick, what do you know what firearms presidential, what are those things called that he writes and says that I want this to happen?
Executive orders.
Executive orders.
Mm-hmm.
What has gone on with all of that?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
No.
I thought that I had read that.
I don't know that he is. Yeah, he's got a lot of plans to interfere with your Second Amendment rights. But so far we haven't seen anything happen yet. And hopefully we won't. My theory on all that is the way they're going to infringe on your ability to defend yourself against the government or anybody else is they're going to do it through taxation. They're just going to start putting taxes on ammo and taxes on guns and make it so expensive to own your firearms and ammunition that people won't want them anymore. Fortunately, I think that'll only take the liberals out, so the rest of us will be okay. You got to run. I know you said you need to be out of here by 8 a.m., so we're going to let Keaton go. Thanks for watching today. Great crowd. Appreciate you all on here. Thanks for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Hanukkah. And happy Hanukkah. Bye.